Everybody, so we are discussing today deep metaphysical processes. We are discussing sacred geometry and the elements. How are you today? Hey from sunny Cyprus. It is the southern coast. I'm coming at you from there. I hope that you are all well. So what I'm actually doing today is discussing more deeply the contents of the Samapana retreat. And for those of you who aren't actually coming, it is really beautiful of you to be here and to listen in and actually find out how deep we can actually go and how it is that we actually do it. So if you are interested in the metaphysical techniques in esoterica, then you are in fact in the right place. So here's the rundown. This is actually for the students, but like I said, it's good to kind of be in the know and to actually really get a gist of what it is that we're getting into here. So here we go. Now, first off, it's all about changing the elements. We're using forces of advanced sacred geometry in order to transform all aspects of the being. And all aspects of the being, like your human self, are actually the elemental forces themselves. So all aspects of the being are actually encrypted into the elements. So it's 7 days, and each of the 7 days we are going to address a specific element and we are going to unpeel it right to its very core. And so this is how it kind of looks. This is the rundown of the 7 days first off. We kick off the class on the 3rd of June, which is Saturday coming, and it's Saturday and Sunday. But here's a rundown of the 7 days. It looks like this. It's 7 days, as I said. Day 1 is prana or hera, which is the Greek word for prana. The 2nd day is Gaia or yeah. The 3rd day is akasha or ethera, or spirit, if you like also, matches the description for that day. The 4th day is estia or fire. The 5th day is water or hydrohos. The 6th day is ieros gamos or sacred union. And the 7th day is primary source. Now, before I go any further as into like the contents of what it is that we're going to do, I just want to say, especially to those of you who are going to be watching this later on and who are actually coming, that each of the days are represented by a colour and a direction as well. Now, the reason I'm going to tell you the colour now is so that you can be prepared. So if you want to wear a colour that corresponds to the day, you're welcome to it if you want to, but it is optional. You don't have to, okay? But I'm going to run them by you so you know. So day 1, which is prana or air or hera, is represented by the colour green. Oh, I happen to be wearing that today. So if you want to wear something green, for example, for day 1, you can. But like I said, totally optional. The 2nd day, yeah, or earth, is represented by the colour red. The 3rd day, akasha or ethera, is represented by the colour white. Fire or estia, which is the 4th day, is represented by the colour yellow. And water hydrohos is represented by the colour blue. 6th day, ieros gamos or sacred union, is represented by velvet black. And the 7th day, which is primary source, is actually represented in gold. You don't have to come dressed top to toe in gold. I'm just saying that it's gold, okay? So those are the colour correspondences to our elements if the colour stuff is important to you. And I know that those of you who have done fusion work do find colour important, and it is actually quite important, but it is optional. Okay, so going back to the contents now of this deep transformational work, we're going to ease in real gently for day 1 as we do for all of the larger courses of Fusion 7 Healing Truth School. And day 1 prana is not just easing in gently, but it is actually one of the first elements to arise, which is why it is chosen as day 1. So here's what we're going to do through the days. What we're going to do is split into 4 steps, in fact. And these are the 4 steps. The first step is a deep understanding of the functions and mechanics of each element. So this is how we kind of open each day. We go into a deep understanding of all the functions and the mechanics, esoterically, cosmically, biologically, spiritually, but also we're going to be including the origins and the corruptions of each of those elements. So that is step one, the deep understanding. So it's kind of discussion and dialogue, going in quite deeply into all of that. The second step is we're going to go into the actual formulas and transformation processes that are completely laid out for you. You don't have to work anything out, and we do it in kind of a ceremoniously fashion. And also the healing happens live. So it happens there and then on the spot. So this is one of the strong traits, if you like, of the Samappana retreat. So this is how we do it. First of all, we retrieve erroneous data of that particular element. So say now we're still talking about day one, which is prana. We're going to retrieve the erroneous data of your pranic element specifically. You're going to uninstall the erroneous data from yourselves. Then you're going to go into a transfiguration process. And the transfiguration process is the specific corresponding electric geometry or male geometry. This is where the geometries come in, and that's for transfiguration, to make the change. Yeah. After we've done the transfiguration process, then we go into what I call as the reprogramming process. And that involves a magnetic geometry. Okay, so we use the electric geometry for the transfiguration, and then we use the magnetic geometry to reprogram. Okay, then we go into processes to reinforce the work that you have done, which is done with the corresponding sonic codes, which means sounds, and corresponding hand circuitries, which means positions of your hands and fingers. So that's how we reinforce. So where do we apply the above processes? Where do we apply it in the self in order to create these changes? Well, we will apply it, to the corresponding harmonic. So again, let's use prana as the example, day one prana, yeah. So the corresponding harmonic for prana is the heart center, or the heart harmonic. We then apply those processes to the corresponding energy field, which is astral in the case of prana. We then apply those processes again to the corresponding DNA pair, which in this case is the soul or astral pair of DNA. That's esoteric vibrational DNA. We then apply all of those processes to the corresponding meridians. And in the case of prana, the corresponding meridians are the lung and large intestine. And we then apply those processes to the corresponding endocrine glands as well. And so these are the processes. So it's very deep. We're going into, all of the parts of self that are corresponding to the element of the day. Once we've done that, and that will probably take the duration of a good 45 minutes to an hour to go through that process. We'll take a little break, and then we're going to follow it up by going into a primary source codes and frequencies transmission. And that's where the students sit back, relax, and just absorb what it is that suits them and leaves behind what they don't. Because in the Fusion 7 healing Truth School processes throughout, we don't do anything that we don't find is resonant to us. So guys, that is the rundown of how one of the days, the prana day, Samappana course will look like. And so we will run through very similar processes for each of the days, but the correct corresponding processes for that specific element. Starting off gently, and we're working it up to something sort of like deeper, kind of flexing those esoteric muscles, if you like. So guys, that is our rundown. So thanks very much for being here for the live stream, for those of you that are. Do not forget to follow me and share it on if you are on Periscope. And also do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Helen Christodoulou, where I can comment back with you right there. So if you've got any questions about the Samapana retreat, you can reach me on Facebook. I'm available all over that. Helen Christodoulou is the name. Also fusion7healing@gmail.com for any questions, or you can respond right back on the YouTube channel. So for now, guys, that's it from me. I hope you have an awesome week. I'm going to be back with you for a source transmission, which is a cosmic forecast for the month of June. And I'll probably have to get that in a little bit early for you because I'm going to be very busy in the week. So thanks for being here. Caring is sharing. May the primary force of truth always be with you. For now, take care, and I'll see you again real soon. Thank you for the hearts, and thank you for being here. Ciao for now. See ya.